I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just scratching the surface.
Hi everyone, it's Mr. Lightcap from S.T.E.A.M class. Welcome to my shop. I want to show you some things that I'm 3D printing. Yesterday I was able to get into the classroom and take home the TAS-6. So I am currently working on some visors for hospitals in need. I'll show you that. And that also means, Ellie, I'm going to be able to help you out with that project that you are working on. So that'll be really great. I think we'll start with that today. I'll give you a bit of a shop tour and show you what's going on. Okay, so let's have a quick tour. This is my shop. It's at my house in my garage. This is my drill press, my chop saw, or miter saw with a miter saw station. I just finished putting this together last week. It's got a stop block that you can set at whatever length you want to cut and make the cut here. This is called a zero clearance insert, and that way you can put your wood right up against it and you're not going to get as much tear out in the back of the wood when the blade runs through it. You see the blade there. I have my dust collection hooked up, and that comes through the cabinet up to here. This is the cabinet face that I want to build today, and I'm going to clean all that extra wood scrap out when it's done. Let's see, over here, you're probably wondering, that's just my boiler. Keeps the house warm. These are a bunch of jigs here. We have a taper jig for table legs, and we have a finger joint jig to cut finger joints, and I can show you what those are later. These two go with other things. And here's a mortiser, and this actually cuts square holes and things if you're making mortise and tenon joints, and I'm gonna show you more of that later too. Okay. Over here is my main work table. This is my table saw. And on top of the table saw, I have a crosscut sled. And I'll show you how that works too. Attached to my table saw is my router table. So underneath I have my routers. And this one is attached, so when you turn it on, it spins. And you can run your wood across it to get different edges onto your wood. Let's see, here I have my vise and different things to hold work in place. These are called dogs. So this table's full of dog holes, which sounds funny, but that's what they're called. And you can use those to hold different things in place. Now, let's see here. I'm working on trying to color match this piece for a cabinet that I'm going to build. I'm going to show you that in a second. This is a dovetail jig. That's another way that you can join wood together, and that uses a router too. Over here, something I've been working on over break. This is like my mobile milling station, and I'll show you more of that also later. But it has my joiner, my planer, which a thickness planer is used to take rough cut lumber or any other lumber and cut it to a specific dimension. Disc sander. This is my bandsaw, and I've been working on restoring this. This is the one that's from the 1940s, and I completely stripped it and repainted it and replaced a whole bunch of stuff on it. It has a new fence and new belts and new bearings. I made a new blade guard here out of walnut. I'd like to start making some of these with you guys so we can actually do some of those projects, and I'll post them and show you how we're going to do it. This is a pantry that I'm working on. This is the one that needs to be matched, so you can see the color that it needs to be down here. That was left over from her existing cabinets. And then the outside all needs to match that color, so I haven't attached these parts yet. It's made out of maple plywood, and then I have dowels in here, and I have the matching dowel holes. and they just will get glued on with wood glue. And you guys know how strong that is from the third graders when they made their bridges that could hold up to 40 pounds with just popsicle sticks. So all of my tools are connected to my dust collection, which is a series of tubes that run underneath my table, and they have different blast gates which you can open and close. And when you turn the dust collection on, there's a fan up there and the switch is right here, and it sucks up all the dust that you get from your tools, you know. And then down here I have a whole bunch of different stuff, and compressors and my hand planes, and over here I have my fancy Lightcap sign and my chisels that are 100 years old, and different dies and finishes up here and things like that. You have a little benchtop grinder. Got to have your music, a nice vise, my little welder down there, and you know, if I've forgotten anything, I'm sure that I will be able to let you know what it is as we use it, because there's plenty more. In this room back here is where I put the 3D printer. This is my workout room. And here you see the S.T.E.A.M, and we're printing these visors right now. So these fit right on your head. I'll show you. And then you get some transparency film that teachers used to use when they had overhead projectors, and you just punch 6 holes in it and wrap it around. And this is a design that's made by this guy, 3D Verkstand. He's a Swedish guy, and he's made 3 different designs. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. But so far I've got a bunch of these printing. They take about, for me, they take about 2 hours to print 2 of them. So I'm kind of pumping through those, and we'll let that keep going. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the cabinet cover for this. I'm going to use this 1/4-inch plywood because I just like the design on it. It's the same one that's used here on the table, except that has finish on it. And then I'm going to wrap it with a nice hardwood, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use my table saw to cut in a dado, or a groove, into the wood so that this will slide in, and we'll go from there. Got another round of the visor clips done. They just pop right off. Peel off that skirt, which is just there to help the filament start to run, and I will set it to print again. And you'll see once I get the transparency film in, this is the gentleman that made it, I will punch the holes in transparency film and then trim the bottom, and they'll wrap around here, and then we can drop those off. I have some coming in from Amazon right now. So I want to tell you a little bit about my day, what my average day looks like. I come down when I wake up and I do an exercise routine in the morning, and sometimes my kids join me. After that, I go upstairs and make some breakfast, and I sit with my daughter Lily, who's a 2nd grader, and we do her homework. And while she's working on her homework and I'm helping her, I'm on the computer answering emails. I get to see all the pictures from the things that you guys are making. A lot of you have done the sink or float activities. You've made different forts. You're working on your Tinkercad projects. I have so many that I've already put up that I can't wait to see you guys do. Perhaps you'll start working on your Lego boxcars if you have Legos at home. So usually I do that until around 2 o'clock. My wife runs a preschool, which is closed unfortunately now. So she's been doing her daily circle time, and she also does a bedtime story at night at 7 o'clock. So that's Sprout Early Learning House on Facebook. If you want to follow along, you're welcome to watch her. And she'd love for you to join her. So I usually come down here from around 2 to 6 every day for 4 hours, and I do some projects. So I thought, why not take you guys along with some of the projects that I do? I just want to point out that if you do have any sort of these tools at home, that you make sure you're always using protection, like safety goggles, ear protection, and even a mask when things get kind of dusty. You'll see tomorrow when I sand, I always wear this mask because, especially with cedar, you don't want to breathe in sawdust. A lot of times when you're working on things, you don't want to breathe in the fine dust. So that's that for today. I have a bunch of other projects that I want to do, and I hope to bring you along with me. I want to add electric to my milling station table that I did. I want to make some of those bandsaw wooden toy spacecraft. I think it'd be cool for us to work through some of those together. I'm going to finish that cabinet for the customer that I have, and I'll take you along the process with that. I want to build a welding table. I don't know if it's going to be over here or over there, but I have some sheet metal, and I'm going to show you how we can use that sheet metal as a ground and use that as a welding table. Those are just some of the things that I have ideas for, but I'm going to keep going as long as we're out, coming up with new and fun ideas, and I'll keep you in the loop as far as the visors go. And Ellie, let me know when you have that design ready, and we'll get it printed too, okay? I hope you guys are doing well, everyone is healthy and safe, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm just scratching the surface.